All right. Let's go ahead and get into it. Been gone for a minute, but now we finna talk this boxing. First off, I want to say, RIP to Showtime, dog. I think it was 1973, 1979, something like that, till 2023. It's sad to see it go. First it was HBO, now it's Showtime. RIP to Showtime, man. It's a trip because I'm pretty sure some of the first boxing matches I ever seen wasn't even on ESPN. It was on Showtime. And when I got back into boxing around 2017, 2018, watching Earl and watching, the PBC or whatever, I just remember them putting on quality content. And in my opinion, whether it's Top Rank, whether it's, PBC, whether it's, even HBO, I feel like nobody did a better event, nobody did a better pay-per-view or a showing than Showtime. So I'm glad I got to see it for a little while before it went out. So I can remember the good old days. But all right, enough of that. Let's go ahead and talk boxing. Let's talk the current state of affairs in boxing so far. What's on the menu today, man? Terence Crawford, dog. Terence Crawford. And the options that he may or may not have. So Terence Crawford, after jermell Charlo went ahead and went into survival mode out there in the wilderness, like he was on a goddamn, live TV show on ABC or something. Like he was in full survival mode, man. Boiling water in pans and shit and starting fires with rocks and fucking all types of shit. Like after jermell Charlo went out there and did that against Canelo and made Canelo head big again, saying nobody beats this Canelo, even though he just got done beating the dude moving up 2 weight classes. And jermell Charlo has never been that much of a firefighter anyways. He's not that aggressive. Jermell is aggressive. And I can't believe that people were so surprised that Mel went there and did that. I'm like, look at the Castano fights, or just his fights in general. He's not an aggressive fighter. He always comes out kind of tentative. He stays in a nice little safe zone. He rarely just stays in the fire. And whenever he does stay in the fire in exchange, he gets caught a lot. You know what I'm saying? So even like I was saying, the Castano fight is where once he gets you hurt, then he opens up, then he wants to, start exchanging and fire and all that kind of stuff. But if he ain't got you hurt, he gonna play it safe. So I'm like, Castano getting him against the ropes, making him shell up. I'm like, if you think that against Canelo, somebody twice the size of Castano, who hits twice as hard, who's twice as skilled, is gonna allow you to just shell up or try to play it safe or wait until you get him hurt, it's not gonna happen, bro. That moment where you get Canelo hurt or get Canelo wide open for a shot, it's just not gonna happen. Canelo has his defense is just too good, man. Canelo has pretty good defense, man. So what I saw in there, I honestly was not shocked one bit. Jermell would have a much better shot against Canelo, no doubt in my mind. Jermell has always been the better Charlo. He's more offensive. He's willing to stay in the fire and actually do productive work while he's in the fire. No, he's just not wide open to be countered or something like that. And he has good footwork as well. But he takes more risks. And you have to do that against Canelo. You can't play it safe. You're going to lose every round, as Jermell did. But back to Crawford. So, who should Terence Crawford fight? He already said after Jermell lost to Canelo that, he ain't finna be messing with Mel no more. He say he want to be 3 times undisputed, but he don't want to fight Jermell and get 3 of the belts, then go fight tyzu and get the other one. He don't want to do that no more. So that's Terence Crawford's own words. Okay, cool. So you scratch out jermell Charlo. Then you got 2 options. You got Canelo moving up 3 weight classes all at one time to fight Canelo. I don't care what nobody say. As a boxing fan first, I watch every interview from my favorite fighters and fighters who I don't care for, everybody. I've heard what Crawford has said, they asked Crawford a couple months ago, would you ever fight Canelo at 168? They asked him how he felt about Errol trying to fight Canelo at 168, and he said that Errol was crazy. Then they asked Crawford would he do it. He said, nah, man. He essentially said weight classes exist for a reason, that he wouldn't fight Canelo at 168. Then they asked him again. He said the same thing. Nah, I wouldn't do that. That's crazy. But then he got on Joe Rogan, you know what I mean, a huge audience, and he knows there's a lot of casuals. And same thing on the Breakfast Club. He knows there's a lot of casuals who don't understand weight classes. They just understand names. So in my opinion, I think he went on there and said, of course I'll fight Canelo, because he doesn't want to come off to the casuals as somebody who's afraid to fight, even though that's not necessarily the case. It's just, a weight class difference. And do I think Crawford is actually going to move up 3 weight classes to fight Canelo? No, I do not. Not one bit. That fight's never happening, in my opinion. That fight's never going to happen. So you can go ahead and, cross off Canelo. Canelo is busy. He waiting on benavidez and Boo Boo, even though he still might duck that fight too, because he's been going out of his way to not fight benavidez. And as annoying as that is, because, I actually think Canelo could possibly beat benavidez, so I just don't understand why he's going out of his way to downplay and just maneuver around benavidez, but he has all the smoke for Yildirim's and all them other whack-ass fighters, but, it is what it is. So, Canelo's tied up, Canelo's busy. You don't want to fight Jermell no more. Who else is there for Crawford to fight? It's literally just Boots. I really hope Crawford doesn't go back on his bum tour where he's just fighting a whole bunch of bums, man. Crawford proved that he was great. Dude was immaculately talented. Dude's got talent, oozing out of him. Dude is exceptionally gifted as a boxer. Exceptionally gifted. And I feel like if you're a real boxing fan, you want to see boxers be great. And Crawford certainly has the chance to be great by, continuing to fight top competition. So in my opinion, I really hope that he decides to that he decides to fight Jerron Boots Ennis. I feel like that's gonna be a firefight. I would still favor Crawford. You gotta favor Crawford for sure. You know what I mean? You gotta favor Crawford, but either way, that's gonna be firefights. And I'm not liking this whole, what does Boots offer me? You know what I mean? The money ain't gonna be there. Like, man, forget all that. Go ahead and fight Boots. He's your mandatory anyway. Either you gonna fight him or you gonna drop that belt at 147 pounds. You might as well fight him. You don't have any options. Canelo tied up, and you're not gonna fight him no way. You're just doing that for because it sound good. So Canelo ain't on the menu. Jermell ain't on the menu because he lost. Boots is the only option left that even remotely matters. And it's gonna be a good fight, man. You're gonna get a nice little bag. You got more clout these days, so you can probably go from getting 1 to 2 to 3 million on average. You can probably get like 5 to 7 against Boots. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and get him out of there, and you'll get all the praise in the world. Because we boxing fans just want to continue to see Terence Crawford fight quality competition. I'm not trying to see Crawford go from dominating Earl to going back to fighting all these mean machines and all these random dudes nobody's ever heard of, who he easily can wash with very little resistance. Like, I'm not trying to see that. Terence Crawford don't have much left on his boxing clock anyway. He's already 36, so you pretty much, the first half of your career was essentially fighting nobodies. And then towards the end, you fought Sean Porter. He was retiring, so I don't know how much, stock you can put in that. No fighter has ever been in their prime fighting a retirement fight. That's not how that works. That's definitely not how that works. You can't name a single fighter in history who on his retirement fight was in his prime or anywhere near it. That was his retirement fight. So Sean Porter wasn't even Sean Porter, but it was still a pretty solid fight. So you got Sean Porter. You got... Who else you got? You got I mean, it's pretty much just Sean Porter and Earl. And Earl is the best name on there. Earl spent his whole career 147 pounds, knocking everybody out, you know what I'm saying? Doing what he did, you know what I'm saying? 3-time unified champion. So, possibly a future Hall of Famer. You never know. We're going to see. So, to go from Errol Spence to a bum, I wouldn't recommend it. I say go ahead and stay on this tour. You know, fight Earl, fight Boots. You know what I'm saying? I guess the Earl rematch is on the table, I guess. But if that don't happen, fight Boots. And then after you fight Boots, I mean, if you really want to be undisputed, like you say, go ahead and fight Mel and fight Zoo. Become 3-time undisputed and retire. Ain't nothing else left for him to do at that point. You know what I'm saying? And be amongst the all-time greats. He's probably going to be mentioned in top 10 conversations. So I just want to see Terence Crawford be great. You know what I mean? Wish him the best for his career. You know what I mean? Moving forward. I always said I didn't feel like Errol Spence nor Terence Crawford were that special. But after seeing what he did to Earl, and, you know, the dominant performance that was, I gotta say that I was wrong. Because I wanted to see a special fighter in my generation, and I feel like I haven't seen one. I feel like Canelo is pretty good, but do I feel like Canelo is a special fighter? Personally, not really. Not really. Special, not really. Like, when I think special, I'm thinking Sugar Ray's and, you know, Thomas Hearns and the Four Kings, basically. You know what I'm saying? The Tyson or something like that. I think Canelo's really good, or Roy Jones or Floyd or Manny Pacquiao. I think Canelo's really dope, but do I think he's special? Not really. He's like on the edge to me or whatever. If Canelo can go ahead and beat David Benavidez, and then, if he can beat David Benavidez and avenge his loss against Bivol, Canelo has had a perfect career, regardless of the losses to Floyd and Bivol. He's had a perfect career. And that's pretty much it. As far as like the current state of boxing, my current thoughts on what's been going on, man. I've been gone for so long. Terence Crawford is special, man. Terence Crawford is special for sure. Glad I got to see a special fighter in my generation. I've been asking for it. I've been hoping that I would see it. Didn't think I would, but I ended up seeing one, so I guess I'm satisfied. At this point, I want to continue now that I've seen that special fighter. It sucks that special fighter's basically finna retire, so before he gets up out of there, I would like to at least see him be great against a couple other fighters. But that's it. I'm out.